Wardy is hosting a tournament at the same time that Clem is playing in, and Clem, he somehow found his way into our lobby for a different tournament.
We didn't post.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't post the lobby link or anything. And he just joined from
Friends list.
I guess he joined from Friends list,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then he joined from Friends list from somebody who's not in the Wardy tournament.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Look,
so
pro gamers. Here's the secret: pro gamers, they don't read.
And ByuN was like,
they
Clem.
see the button. They see the invite. They click. They see button. They click button.
They only click button. They only click. ByuN, he was like, "Yo, Clem, play for me." And Skills was like, "No, I don't want to play with this guy. No." So best of luck to Clem as he does leave our lobby, and best of luck to him in I believe he's playing against Jumi in a different tournament. So best of luck. But now we have our own best of 5 finals. Let's go.
Indeed, we do, and we're really kicking off here on Pylon. LE. LE, of course, stands for Lunar Explosion. Lunar Explosion. That's like Majora's Mask.
Ah.
I will not elaborate. No, because no, because at the very beginning of the game, it's like the moon's gonna crash down into.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
It's not Hyrule, I remember. Yeah,
in like 3 days.
Yeah. The dawn of the. I guess this wouldn't be if we're doing the tournament as an analogy for Majora's Mask. This is like the dawn of the final day. And the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way to the top left, we have a blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the Team Liquid Protoss. It is SKillous. Oh boy, and again, this is going to be a close one because for those that are curious, we are actually booked to, not cast, but booked to actually help admin and run Uthermal's 2v2 tournament. So that is starting up in 40 minutes. So we're going to be cutting it close when it comes to, when I say we, I mean myself and Kuro, not you, Yakko, but... So we're going to be cutting it close there. Kuro is going to be handling things when it comes to the initial adminning of the event, and then I'll be jumping in towards the end, or towards the start once after we wrap up this event. We'll get there.
I had to double check because I could have sworn I thought that tournament starts at like 2 a.m. for me, but no, I misread that. It actually starts at 2200, which is 10 p.m. So yeah, 40 minutes.
Here we go.
We need both players to just rush every game.
I mean, ByuN is going to be fine. SKillous does play in the 2v2 tournament, though. Like, SKillous, he does play often with Laser. They form Team Liquid as a team. So, yeah, there is going to be a little bit of pressure when it comes to trying to compete in both events. It's up to Skillous if he wants to. From here, though, we do have our 1-1-1 opener out of ByuN. Skillous going for a Twilight Council opener himself.
Yeah, fingers crossed that we don't require any forfeits for either tournament, but yeah, as you were saying, SKillous being a little bit more safe opening up this time, not opting for any Stargate play until he knows that he can get away with it.
Oh yeah. Exactly, and we'll see if he can get away with it. For now, we're going to be walling up, but we do have our initial gate opener, 2-gate opener out of Skillous into a faster robo, into a 3rd gateway, so just really safe play. And we saw even previously against Percival, Skillous is willing to make early immortals if need be. Speaking of early immortals, speaking of early aggression, that is a very fast tank going for a tank drop here for ByuN. Oh boy. Or early bio drop into tank reinforcements.
Yeah, well, regardless, we're going to see a drop, so...
Yeah, this is very aggressive here from ByuN. We'll see if Skillous is able to keep up and recognize what exactly is going on. ByuN for now going for a split push. He does have Reaper heading towards the left, and he does have the Marine Mine Drop on the right.
Yeah, very fond of his drop play is ByuN.
Yep, and before I forget, very quickly, predictions are open in the chat. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Remember, there's a prediction for the entire best of 5 final, so best of luck with your gamble, with your predictions. Mine shot goes off, 2 pros go down so far, and the drop continues into the natural.
Yeah, Stalker's not quite in position to chase this. But Blink did just finish up, so that's just about going to put an end to SKillous' worries when it comes to the drop.
Exactly.
Even though he's satisfied with the damage he's dealt.
Yeah, as ByuN gets some nice damage, he pulls away. SKillous setting up for a third expansion, and ByuN is still building up his forces early on. Now, we saw this previously against Geralt. We saw even Percival embrace this as well. We are expecting ByuN to go for an early, I'm expecting him to go for an early tank push pre-stim. We'll see if he does move out. As ByuN, he is trying to get eyes on the third Nexus.
Yeah, I mean, he saw a little bit of movement there earlier. I think he saw the pylon being placed down, but he would prefer to confirm it. He does scout the other third position, so he's aware when he does push, which he should be doing pretty soon, he knows where to actually push.
Yeah, exactly. As we just see ByuN pulling away, he's building up his forces, working towards +1, now working towards stim and combat shields. The add-ons are in position, and SKillous back at home, as he mentioned, he's not really one to embrace Storm every game, so he's going for Colossus.
Yeah, kind of his, I wouldn't say his signature unit, but it's definitely what I think of when I think of SKillous' playstyle way back in the day. Very fond of Colossus in all three matchups.
In PvP, yeah. when I think of Colossus against Protoss, I still do think of SKillous. He was like one of the only players to really embrace that on a regular basis many years ago at this point. So once again, embracing those Colossus. ByuN still building up back at home. Looks like this time he's being more reasonable, though. This time he is waiting for his upgrades.
Oh, yeah, doesn't want to go stimless this time! Ooh. As the Raven will get taken out.
It does get taken out. SKillous does bleed out a Stalker towards the end, but still a better trade for SKillous, and that means there is less to worry about, less to harass his bases.
Yeah, all he really needs to worry about right now is just the upcoming push, which will just be from a single location, a single front at this third base.
Exactly. As ByuN, he is now getting his own third CC. We have a double drop moving out on the right hand side as well. ByuN is being active. Looks like he's keeping his main army at home, and he's going to be, never mind, actually, he does consolidate his forces, moving out with everything.
Huh. Yeah, a bit of an interesting move there. There's a part of me that wants to say that he was looking to bait out this observer with that drop, but I realized, wait a minute. That drop would not have been in vision of that observer anyway, so...
Yeah, and...
I guess he just changed his mind.
You mentioned the observer, right? SKillous, he saw everything. He saw everything moving out. He's here to try to delay the push. Moving in position, and will chip away at the Marines here, but ByuN does him in.
Yeah, he's gonna try to delay this push, but I don't think that's gonna happen right now. Colossus getting a couple of shots in, but so does the tank. And now the gateway buffer is gone. Two Colossus are out, but one of them very exposed, will get taken out just like so. The Colossus not looking to be in a good position. One tank goes down, but the other two are sieged up in very strong positions. Flanking Zealots, though, will put an end to that.
This is a shaky defense here by SKillous, by the way. He almost just went down, but as you mentioned, those flanking Zealots are going to be enough. The tanks go down, and SKillous, he does barely hold on. Did cost him a Colossus, but he does hold.
And he still has the backup Colossus, so...
Yeah. Does have that backup, but likewise is going to be reinforcing with the Colossus scan, takes down the Observer. ByuN does hold, and SKillous, he pulls away, he gets the hell out of there. But again, he saves his bases, he maintains the economy, his probes are left untouched, and he will be getting his fourth.
Yeah, we're going into mid-game with SKillous taking a massive advantage.
Ooh. That he does poke forward though, and so far SKillous, he cannot break this expansion. He does nibble away at the army here, but he has to be coming to overextend. Again, these Colossus are exposed. Nice force fields though, very nice force fields.
Yeah, we'll just about split the army in two, the ground army in two anyway. And we still have Stalkers on the ground that are able to keep the Vikings at bay.
Yeah, SKillous playing with fire right now. He doesn't really have much support or much buffer for his Colossus, so he's just pushing on forward on a knife's edge here. At the same time, getting ready for his Zealot Rabbi over towards the natural.
And it's not a whole lot in position, but I think there are a couple of reinforcements on the way. We do have the bunker, but I mean, these are Zealots we're talking about. These are charge lots we're talking about. they can just go around the bunker.
Yeah, they rush past, they get into the mineral line, they get a couple of SCVs at the same time. We do see ByuN break out. He will take down the first Colossus. Oh, and he will force a recall. Oh, no! Oh my god.
Oh, barely doesn't get the second Colossus. Very strong concave here from ByuN, but very quick recall here from SKillous.
Yeah, it does recall in time. Very clutch recall as ByuN does break out. But again, SKillous, he has been bleeding out a lot of Colossus. That was already 2 Colossus going down throughout the course of this game. And now he's down to 2. And again, he bleeds out a lot of his support, a lot of his gateway army.
7 health on that Colossus. That's... ouch.
7 HP Colossus, let's go. Backup Colossus on the way. 4th base is getting up and running. SKillous is still maintaining himself. It's still just a really low supply fight or supply game state between the 2 armies. And we'll see if ByuN can break out. He does have a hefty amount of Vikings.
Yeah, we've mostly just been seeing these little skirmishes back and forth, and both players kind of trading out each other's units. I do think that if we double check the units lost tab, yeah, SKillous has bled out more when it comes to minerals, but it's actually still pretty close.
Yeah, still quite close here. We do see SKillous claiming another expansion, going for the base on the bottom right-hand corner. Likewise, more Vikings are amassing for ByuN, and we'll see what ByuN can accomplish here. Again, he just has a lot of Vikings. Takes down the first Colossus instantly.
Yeah, EMP already prepared. Ghost already prepared, I should say. Colossus are going to go down, and the Bioforce on the ground will clean up everything else. Vikings are going to be landed, and the flanking Zealots, I don't think are going to be enough.
Yeah, they're not enough. They're not enough here. The Vikings, they do play their part here. ByuN, he breaks the main army, breaks the 4th expansion. SKillous, he was defending on knife's edge, and he just barely did not have enough.
GG is called, and ByuN finishing game number 1.
GG. A very intense back and forth here. Again, SKillous trying to get away with, in a way, I don't know if I want to say cutting corners, but he was just being really active early on with his Colossus. It was so risky being that active, and in the end he got caught out, forced recall, bled out Colossus, and he never really built up much of an army, never really had that support that he needed for those Colossi.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting strategy here from SKillous to... In a way, I think he was looking to contain ByuN on a bit of a low base count, you know, kind of flip the tails on him. That's what ByuN likes to do in TvP, so now SKillous is trying to put that shoe on the other foot, turn the tables, but as you were mentioning, didn't really work out. It took a while for SKillous to really be able to consolidate his forces, and so ByuN was just picking off stray units here and there.
Oh yeah, exactly. SKillous, he was catching strays, and with that, game 1 goes away of ByuN. I do favor aggression on Pylon, and again, ByuN, he was very aggressive here on this map, was able to pull SKillous apart. Speaking of aggression, we have another. Up next, we're loading into Torches for the 3rd time this broadcast.
Yeah, one of the more popular maps in the new pool, which, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but that's why I'm pointing out we're seeing it decently often here. Like, decently.
Well, at least for tonight.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Last Fantasy yet.
No, not at all. No.
But regardless, we are going to be continuing our best of 5. Grand finals here. As you mentioned, we are going to be loading into Torches. LE, of course, standing for Land Excavation. Land Excavation. That's, you know, when you excavate the land. Pretty common. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right. We, of course, have our blue Terran player coming out from the land that hasn't been excavated yet, the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Liquid down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is SKillous. And as we settle into game number 2, a big shout out to Gemini. Gemini GG E-Mini in the chat and tells to give us a rate. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great, I'm assuming, All Things Protoss Team League matches. I believe you were covering some of those initial, I'm sorry, I believe the group stage did complete. I believe you were covering some of the playoff matches, or the seeding matches, I should say. Yeah, so hope you had a great stream, hope you had a great time, hope the memes went well, and I hope Lorimbo was involved in some way.
I was gonna say, I hope Lorimbo didn't make too many people lose their minds.
Aye. Unfortunately, Yaku, the team, the Cinque do Fromage, they did not make it into the playoffs, unfortunately. Did not make it.
Oof.
It was close, though. It was close.
You know why? But you know what? That means Lorimbo can now cast more.
True, he can cast. He can yell at the players and yell at the chat.
Yeah. He never yells at Gemini though, but he still has to endure it.
Beautiful.
Gemini still has to endure it.
Oh no. Well, thank you so much again. I hope you had a great time over on the All Things Protoss Team League as we are settling into game 2 of our grand finals of Sparkling Tuna Cup. Again, we do have ByuN with a 1-0 lead, and now we are loading into Tokamak. One of the big features of this map, of course, is short rush distance by air, short rush distance by ground. We got gold bases all over the place, and we have the healing pad as well. This one, though, unhindered by any air blockers.
It's actually kind of hard to tell it's a healing pad, if not for the mini map, you know?
Yeah.
That's a horde symbol.
Is that a horde symbol?
It looks like a horde symbol.
Kind of. I think the horde
and when
symbol...
I think healing, when I think healers, I don't think horde.
True. We think medic? Medevac?
Yeah?
Yeah.
We think
shield
is there
battery?
A healing class in Diablo?
I don't think so.
Yeah, well, not in Diablo, but I guess in Heroes there are Diablo heroes who are healers. But...
Are there? Nerizim?
Nerizim?
What's the voodoo doctor?
The voodoo?
Yeah.
Nazebo?
Nazebo.
No, he's not a healer. Karazim, the monk. He's a healer.
Ah, there you go. Early cyclone bush, by the way. We're breaking through.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. We do rush for the early cyclone. Stalker does go down, but we have plenty of reinforcements. The cyclone is going to be targeted down, and with that, SKillous, he should be able to hold on. Ideally, ByuN wants to head into the mineral line, and he will focus down some lift probes against what he gets 2 probes so far. Oh.
Yeah, not quite going to be able to get a 4th, but 3 probes do go down. Very committed push by ByuN, though, and I don't think he traded well enough to make it worth it.
Well, the scary thing about what ByuN has done as he goes for a second cyclone is that this does delay tank production, so there's going to be less tanks to defend, but because of the terrain, I mean, the main base is pretty secure. Like, blinking into the main from the low ground is not quite possible, so he only has to protect the natural.
Which isn't protected right now. Bunker's still on the way. We have a follow-up drop landing in the main base. Bunker disc finish up, but it is empty, and that's a lot of stalkers knocking down the front door.
Yeah, the tank does siege a little bit too far behind. SKillous does go for the dive, and he will focus on that tank just barely at the same time back across the map. Looks like SKillous does defend. He does focus on the cyclone, and SKillous defends. He attacks. He gets across the map, busts into the main.
And there's not a whole lot here left to defend. Blink is on cooldown, or was on cooldown for a little while, so it did allow these SCVs to get some body blocking, but other than that, these SCVs are going down. ByuN, he got some good damage across the map with his drops, but yeah, SKillous is reciprocating much harder.
I mean, he punishes, right? He punishes ByuN here as he takes down the tank, takes down 10 SCVs. He will bleed out these stalkers. ByuN will defend, but the advantage that he otherwise would have had is no longer there. SKillous getting away with a 3rd base, building up back at home. SKillous is, for the most part, looking comfortable here. Bled out a lot of stalkers, but there's nothing threatening him. Not now.
Yeah. He's got a lot of breathing room. He is free to grab his 3rd base, as he is doing right now, and he knows he has a lot of time before ByuN pushes across the map with a follow-up.
Yeah, exactly. does have plenty of time here to himself. ByuN back at home is settling in. Likewise, he has no stim, so he has to wait for his upgrades. He has to wait for his upgrades for stim, combat shields, building up his tank count. Because of the early aggression, ByuN, he is slowed down quite a bit here, and SKillous has a lot of freedom. A lot of freedom.
Yeah. He's going to expand on that freedom by just, well, apart from getting an expansion, also getting an observer to make sure he is aware of how free he is.
Yeah, he rotates over. With this position, he can maybe catch any medevacs, any drop play. There is a Raven in between the bases.
A little far away, though, and there's really no reason for SKillous to suspect it right now.
Yeah, as the Raven actually does find the observer, not bad.
Yeah, gonna be able to take it out with the auto turret. SKillous looking to intercept.
And he will.
ByuN.
Oh my god.
Just barely unable to keep that Raven alive.
Yeah, ByuN, he was not expecting...
into the wall.
Unfortunately not. ByuN, he was not expecting Stalkers to be here in position, to be in between the bases, so nice catch there from SKillous. Better trade for the Protoss. Meanwhile, ByuN is gearing up for a third base is now on location. ByuN, he does break out, but against SKillous, he sees all.
MVP Marauders. Observers. Same amount of, what's it?
Exactly.
Not... What? Syllables, not synonyms.
Yeah, Marauders, Observers, same thing. They both see?
Yeah?
Oh.
Do they know?
Yeah.
Are Marauders blind? Or at least mine are.
Okay. And SKillous
confirms the third base.
Yeah, he bypassed the main army, delays the third. Cheeky moves here out of SKillous.
Yeah, just a little bit of a slight delay. Sim did finish up for ByuN, so he's looking to chase down the Stalkers as Colossus production for SKillous has commenced.
Yeah, the Colossi on the way. Skill's getting another expansion up and running. SKillous, he's still lacking those power splash damage units, but ByuN is at home, so Skillous, he has time to build up, time to recover. The Observer does confirm the initial move out here from ByuN, and ByuN, he spots the Observer! He wants it!
He wants it. He's gonna get it, but that Observer has already provided SKillous with all the information that he needs.
Yeah, and we can see SKillous moving out to try to meet the army, likewise getting ready for a Zealot run by as well. If ByuN commits, then the Zealot run by will hit the third.
And once again, a very proactive position here coming out from SKillous. We'll see if ByuN is somehow able to find the one route that will allow him to catch SKillous off guard.
And we'll see if he can find the one way across. We can see SKillous just gaining map control. He has vision everywhere. Spotter probes, spotter zealots, spotter prisms, spotter everything. Still has to replace that observer, but right now is busy making Colossus.
Yeah. Probably his best bet at the moment. He knows that he doesn't need to be too active on the map, unlike in the previous game.
Yeah, SKillous just getting another expansion, just getting, I would just say, just more comfortable here. ByuN still has potential with his army, but for the most part, he's just stuck teching. We have Vikings on the way, Armory, Ghost Academy as well. Again, it just shows just how committed and how aggressive ByuN was early on, and for that to fall in its face, like, he's just been stuck at home the entire game.
And on 3 bases at that, which is definitely worrisome here for ByuN. Now he's starting to get a 4th base, but I think SKillous is already on 5.
Oh yeah, 5 bases about to be up and running. Here comes a massive warp in. SKillous, he moves out with his with his 2 Colossus, getting 3rd Colossus behind this, and now he's pushing in.
Yeah, going to be able to kill and not cancel that 4th CC, so already a huge pickoff here for SKillous. And once again, he doesn't need to commit to this. He doesn't need to engage. SKillous has already gotten a much better, the much better end of this trade.
Oh yeah, SKillous, he's maxed out. Now trading out some Zealots is still viable here for SKillous. He doesn't want to lose his Colossus or his Stalkers, so he can just poke in, trade out Zealots, collapse on the army, force friendly fire, he stims in, and once again he denies the CC, and he's going for the tanks.
Yeah, Ghosts are out, and they do blanket the army with EMPs. Zealots are about to be dealt with. Colossus being juggled, but when they're juggled, that means that they can't actually shoot.
Oh god.
But it seems like SKillous just has way too much Protoss. GG is called, and SKillous can be tying us up 1-1.
Ooh, GG, well played. SKillous does tie up the series. We have a back and forth against SKillous, looking very comfortable in game 1. We saw ByuN commit to early Cyclone aggression and he got shot down. Not just that, but right after the Cyclone aggression, remember SKillous, he counterattacked with Blink Stalkers. He counterattacked and he was able to catch a tank, able to get SCV kills, and again, ByuN, he was punished very hard for the early aggression, and with that, SKillous looking quite comfortable afterwards. So it was a bit of a smoother game from then on forward.
Yeah. This really shows the economic snowball in a way, right? Especially when you are somebody like SKillous who it does prefer to macro at least a little bit. Being safe, being able to actually get away with your build order is absolutely essential.
Oh yeah, exactly. It is that essential here, and we'll see who gains momentum early on this time. I would imagine that ByuN is going to calm down when it comes to cycling pushes. Again, it was just hyper aggression early on, was punished. Now we can just settle down a little bit coming into ley lines, I would assume.
Now I would think it's SKillous' turn to be aggressive.
Ah, okay.
Because we're cutting into 15 minutes before the 2v2 cup, so...
True. True. We are cutting it close here. Regardless, getting into game 3.
Indeed, we are game 3 of our best of 5, just as a gentle reminder. And we're going to continue it here on ley lines. We're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left. We have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be, well, we'll see how he plays this time, but he's going to be representing Shopify Rebellion, one of the two mountain brothers we have, ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. So we are going to be settling in. Oh, and we'll see what kind of openers we go for. Already, ByuN, he doesn't move out with any kind of E-way block or anything like that. So no early game shenanigans. Not here. Not yet.
Not yet.
Also,
this is going to be coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I should have paid more attention to it. Yaku, is that a new background?
Kind of?
Ish? I don't think I've seen it too often.
This is the background I made that one time last year when you were on a plane, and so you told me I had to stream Sparkling Tuna Cup.
Yeah.
So I made it then.
Oh, that's why I haven't seen it before. Let's go.
See it, the sparkles on the tuna.
Yeah, the tunas, they are sparkly. Hold on, I'll show you on stream. I'll show you.
Sparkling.
Beautiful.
On the tunas.
There's no cup though. There are tunas.
Well, that's because I'm the cup.
Okay. I see. That makes sense.
Yeah. They hold it up, and then in the middle.
Beautiful. I appreciate the art. It's very well done. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit surprised that you didn't go like full meme and like make the tunas like a can of Dongwon or something. Like, didn't go full Ryung.
That should be the cup.
There you go.
It's a can.
Speaking of SEL,
they hold up cans of Dongwon.
Yes, they hold up the cans of themselves. God. As ByuN does open up Concussive Shell. Concussive Shell is done, does open up Broader. This is designed to punish early Stalker or Gateway aggression, or all the Gateway aggression in general here, as we do not see a move out from SKillous. But behind this, what do we have? A 3-rank stim out of ByuN, pulling a bit of a cure.
And so for the second time in this broadcast, I ask, Are you sure this isn't SC Evo?
True, true. 3-rack sim timing, StarCraft Evolution. ByuN, okay, calm down, papi. I mean, maybe he has been a little bit influenced. He has been playing a lot of StarCraft Evolution in recent times. It does move out, but the shield battery is done, and SKillous, he will defend, even trying to catch out the first Marauder. Oof.
Yeah, Stalker will push this back. The Sentry just about barely survives. It's some clutch shield battery placement.
Oh.
Everything dies for ByuN here. Jeez.
Yeah. Skillous loses nothing, by the way. Skillous, he will lose nothing. He maintains the Sentry, the Stalkers, the shield battery as well. Behind this, going for a Stargate opener. This time, for the first time, Stargate, non-defeating Stargate into Oracle.
I think that's the first time we've seen Oracle play coming out from Skillous, right? Well, I think versus Rise, he opened up Oracle play once, but apart from that, that was obviously a PvP as well. It's mostly just been Phoenix play from all of these Stargates. Obviously, with the energy overcharge ability, Oracles are a little bit more powerful nowadays, and Oracle openings, I should say, are a little bit more powerful nowadays. That's a full energy Oracle. It's way across the map.
Filled up to the brim, mate. Oh, it is overflowing with energy, and here we go. Skillous does move out across the map, does head towards the main base, and what do we see here to defend? Marines are out of position.
And the SCVs are ripe for the picking.
Yeah, he gets 1, 2, 3 SCV kills, getting 4 SCVs towards the end. He forces back the main army, and Skillous gets a full scout. He gets eyes on the 3-1-1. He sees the earlier Raxes, the later factory, and the early stim. Oof.
We were able to delay the missile turret a little bit. And the Oracle lives.
Yeah.
Oracle is going to be able to provide a little bit more utility down the line, throw in a couple of stasis wards, if need be.
Yeah, exactly. It does pull away, as you mentioned, counter and stasis traps. Behind this, going into robot production, safety immortals into Colossus. We have stopped any kind of Stargate plays, so this is a period in time where Skillous is a little bit vulnerable, as he has no Phoenixes to deny drops, and he has no Blink Stalkers or Charge Ults or anything like that. He's pretty heavily reliant here on his vanilla gateway units and his immortals.
Yeah, which is definitely not ideal, especially when ByuN still is looking to play aggressive. I mean, he made 3 barracks early. He's gonna be making use of it. +1 has already finished up for him, and very soon, once these medevacs are out, we're gonna see him move across the map.
Yeah, exactly, but this is delayed. Like, ideally, when it comes to 3-rack stim timings, you want to be pushing with stim even before medevacs, right? And you, like, make use of your stims, and that's like a resource. But because of the Oracle, ByuN's been stuck at home. He's been stuck at home for a long time here. This push is delayed. Now he's pushing out, so the medevacs, they will join up with the army, but Skillous has had plenty of time to build up and to get ready, and the first Colossus is almost done.
Yeah, even getting a couple of stasis wards preemptively. I'm a huge appreciator of Haluked probes. You got 4 of them, just fan them out.
The value. Yeah, the efficiency.
4 for 1.
And here we go, nice force fields looking at the ByuN army. The Colossus has arrived, and ByuN is going to be completely shut down. He can do nothing to this army. He tries to stim on in, but again, the sentries pull away. The immortals, they are somewhat exposed. 1 immortal goes down, but only 1.
Yeah, maybe if he was able to get a good concave on the Colossus early on, it might have been a different story, but once again, those sentries, the absolute MVP, those force fields denying any such arc for the Terran army.
There was no arc, there was no concave. ByuN now down when it comes to the overall economy. When it comes to the army, he's getting his own 3rd CC on location. Meanwhile, 4th base on the way for Skillous. ByuN, he rotates, but he gets spotted by the probe.
Once again, Skillous just... he sees all.
Oof. Yeah, medevac goes down. ByuN gets forced back. He does put up his army. He does a double drop on the right-hand side. But once again, we have spotter units here. We have pylons. We have probes. Skillous eases everything, going for stasis traps, repositioning his army. Skillous even pre-splitting just to make sure he keeps up with the drop lane.
Yeah, that really isn't much of an opening here for ByuN, no matter how he tries to enter. So he's aware of this. He is consolidating his forces back home. He is just working for working towards the next tier of tech. Ghost Academy gets thrown down now, but it does feel a little bit late. Or maybe it just feels late because ByuN hasn't been able to get any damage across the map yet.
Yeah, it's just been a really rocky start here for ByuN, as you mentioned, right? The initial concussive shell Marauder opener fell on its face. The initial stim timing also fell on its face, and now he's stuck licking his wounds, getting a third. Whereas SKillous may soon just get a fifth. Like he's moving in position to expand once again.
I may as well at this point. He knows that he has full and complete map control. He doesn't need to commit into this push, but as long as he's keeping ByuN on his side of the map, he's free to do whatever he wants on his own side of the map.
Yeah, there's a fifth base, up two bases. He's up to expansions, and here we go. SKillous is pushing his way forward. Vikings, they will zone away. There's a decent Viking count, getting up to 6 Vikings, but ByuN, he's in a very rough position. Revelation on the main army as well to make sure that ByuN does not split off, and SKillous, he is just pushing on forward. He's forcing ByuN further back into his own bases.
And eventually you're going to start to run out of room to kite back to and to retreat back to.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see SKillous pushing forward, one of the Vikings, or one of the Colossus does take a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage, but still, it's nice pickups here with those Colossus swipes as Marines are going down one after the other. The ghosts are exposed.
And a bunch of them are starting to fall already. Colossus is a little bit exposed, but the ground army of SKillous is doing such a good job of making sure that ByuN cannot pounce on top of them.
And SKillous has done it. He's done it. He's broken the back of ByuN. ByuN, he has no more ghosts remaining. Zelsay dive on top of the Marauders. Meanwhile, Zelsay do head into the Mineral Lines. 19 SCVs going down. GG gets called, and SKillous, he will overwhelm. He will take a lead 2-1 in the finals.
GG. Nicely done here for SKillous, getting himself up to match point. One more map remaining.
One more game is all that he needs. Again, strong showing there from SKillous, winding it back. The reason why SKillous was looking so dominant in that game is that ByuN, he went for a very aggressive build early on, and it fell in its face. I'm talking about the initial concussive shell timing and then the stim timing as well. We had two big power moments there for ByuN, and neither one really dealt the damage he was hoping for.
Not at all. Didn't get any returns on those investments, and yeah, as a result, he just lost full momentum.
Yeah, and part of that momentum as well was also the Oracle opener. If you remember, like, the Oracle did a great job healing SCVs and delaying the push, right? Delaying the sim timing specifically, so just everything just fell apart there for ByuN. And now SKillous, he is one game away from claiming the series and becoming our champion.
Can he do it in less than 5 minutes?
I mean, there's like a 15-minute walkover period, so like he can check in, he can tab out, he can check into the 2v2, and he can still have time for another game, maybe another 2 games. So it'll be close.
We'll see.
Oh.
All depends on the defense. As we now continue our series on Tokamak. LE, of course, standing for lengthy expedition. Lengthy expedition. That's when you go on the trek and it's long. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the bottom left, we of course have our blue Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is an aficionado of lengthy expeditions himself, one of the Mountain Brothers.
Yeah.
He is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion. We have ByuN.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the Team Liquid Protoss, leading the series 2-1, one game away from becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. It is SKillous. And a good thing you bring that up, because fun fact, over the past 2 weeks, we've had some interesting finals here featuring Creator. Creator has been a regular the past couple of weeks alongside ByuN, of course. Not this week though. Creator nowhere to be found. Instead, SKillous, he has risen up to the challenge.
Yeah, he's in the heart of the mountain right now, meditating.
Yeah. Looking to find enlightenment once again.
Yeah.
Shaved his head.
Got a what's an enlightenment thing?
Waifu pillows.
I was gonna say like, okay, in Avatar, they shave their heads and they get like the arrow tattoos, but I guess that's I guess we're thinking of a different kind of enlightenment here.
Yes. The creator, he does often make trips to Japan. It's like close enough. It's kind of like how you have sometimes trips to like Indonesia. Like a creator who'll take a weekend pretty over. Close. Yeah, takes a ferry over to Japan and enjoys the waifus, the homeowners, if you will.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, here's the thing. I was gonna say, creator a couple of years ago, he had that journey to Japan where he like went to these spots that were used in that big. No, I don't remember the name of the movie, but it was like a big anime movie that came out that featured real locations in Japan. That was a creator who did that. That was ByuN. Who took selfies where he basically recreated those frames.
There you go. God damn it.
Mountain Bros, you know?
Great minds.
Mountain Brothers and Weed Brothers. Yeah.
God. As we are settling in this time, once again, we do have a Stargate opener out of SKillous. Now, last game, this was Stargate into Oracle. Once again, going for the same opener, also into Oracle opener.
Yeah, it worked once, so might as well have it work again.
Does open up with the Oracle. ByuN does move out with the initial Hellion, but SKillous with almost a full wall here, he will deny any kind of Hellion moving in.
And the Hellion will have to dip out, so no early scouting information here for ByuN. This is now starting to get pretty worrisome. Cyclone
again,
and a medevac coming out here again from ByuN.
Yeah, once again, an earlier push with earlier Cyclone reinforcements. Remember, it was not last game, but 2 games ago. 2 games ago on Torches, ByuN did rush early Cyclones and did rush across the map to try to break SKillous. He was unable to. In the end, he lost everything. We'll see if he can do it again as we do boost across. And the first Cyclone has arrived, but is actually staying back at home and actually going to be used defensively against the Oracle.
Good call, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely the right call. You know, ByuN wasn't able to get full scouting information, so he's playing it pretty safe here with his Cyclone.
Yeah, and there we go. This time the Oracle
gets one. Reaction, though.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 SCVs, but the lock-on is real. The recall here to try to save the Oracle. The Oracle is barely going to get away.
And meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we do have the Oracle recalling right on top of these Marines, but thankfully there is a shield battery. So the Oracle will survive. Can't say the same for these probes, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, as 5 probes go down. Did I say 5 getting into 6 worker kills? Nice damage here by ByuN. He does somewhat deal economic damage. The Oracle does survive. Skills he keeps up, but this time ByuN has a much better start compared to last game.
Yeah, he's not too far behind this time. Only 5 workers, so that's something you could definitely get away with as a Terran player.
Yeah, bearing in mind this was... Yeah, 3 gateways into that third base, so a faster third base for SKillous. But once again, he will cut Stargate production. He only makes 1 Oracle. He does not make a Phoenix. He does not invest into more Oracles. He's switching into Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, we'll see if he decides to go for some Blink regression once again. Already posturing his Stalkers on ByuN's side of the map, so... He's open to the possibility, but I don't think he's going to be able to find much here. We already have 2 tanks in position.
Yeah, this is mainly just to contain, to keep an eye on any kind of drop play, to poke in, but as you mentioned, he should not commit, he will take a big tank shot to the face, so he has to calm down, has to back off, and again, ByuN looking a lot more comfortable, getting into his own 3-1-1, Stim is on the way, and he's content with 2 tanks.
Yeah, that's all he needs. For now, anyway. It's more of a safety tank thing. ByuN doing a pretty standard aggressive, well, I say aggressive, it's more like a standard timing build in TvP, where he's gonna get his tanks out, wait for a stim, and then push with, +1 already on the way.
Yeah, +1 is on the way. Meanwhile, we did get the Revelation in the main base, but the Revelation barely did miss that medevac. Meanwhile, Stalkers are going for the tank, and the first tank does go down.
Yeah, not a bad pickoff here for SKillous, losing only... Actually, not losing a single stalker in that, so...
Very nice blink control. He blinks away, he avoids any kind of losses for his Stalkers, but SKillous did barely miss that medevac. He misses the drop in towards the main base, and the main base is looking very exposed. SKillous is ready at the third, not in the main.
Not quite. I think the pylon might have been able to pick up on this. Yeah, SKillous is aware of the drop coming his way, so very quick warp in over in the main base. Meanwhile, ByuN pushing out, trying to go for a little bit of a multi-prong.
Yeah, he does break out across the map. SKillous, he will miss the move out. He's hyper-fixated here on the main drop, and he will clean it up, but he will miss the push. And SKillous, he's trying to get ready here. Stasis traps are on the way.
Yeah, Cyclone. ByuN moving a couple of, Vanguard Marines forward. SKillous trying to go for a bit of a surround, but when you have this much Symbio, you're gonna want something stronger, more solid than Stalkers.
Yeah, Stalkers, they do blink away, but now we have Chargels getting ready. Another Stasis Trap is prepared as well. We do see ByuN threatening a push towards the right-hand side, but looks like he is gonna try to back off. I don't know if ByuN really has enough to keep going.
I don't think so either, and neither does ByuN, evidently. So, well, actually, gets a couple of reinforcements, and he's looking to keep up that momentum. He's looking to keep his foot on the pedal.
Yeah, here we go. Does push forward. Sims on in. Charge will take a collapse on the army. He goes for the tank, and the tank is going to be targeted down. And with that SKillous, he will shut down this push.
Yeah, ByuN doesn't have much of an anchor remaining behind all of this. He has a pretty beefy bio army, but that's a lot of zealots. If ByuN wants to get anything done, he needs to either isolate them or fight them in a choke point, which there aren't too many of on Tokamak.
Yeah, exactly. Not at least here in the center of the map. We have high ground in favor of SKillous. We have 2 points of elevation here, 2 levels of elevation. And SKillous, he maintains the high ground. He does defend very well behind this, getting a 4th expansion. We mentioned earlier that Tokamak is one of the more defensive maps, and so far SKillous, he does succeed in holding, in defending.
Once again, you got to secure all his 5 bases, and 5 bases in the hands of SKillous, it feels like he gets a lot more out of it. At least in this series, that's how it's felt so far.
Ooh,
5 bases feel like 10 bases.
Yeah, as he moves out, Zelza hit the 3rd base, Zelza hit the natural as well. SV's going to be going down. ByuN, he's being forced all in.
And he is going all in. He is not defending back at home. He knows that his only chance right now is to keep this going. And he's got a pretty strong army still. He just needs to make sure they're fighting as one. There's no splash damage available yet for SKillous. Stasis does get caught by ByuN. Colossus will not be out in time to defend.
Yeah, massive pick off here. Robo goes down. Colossus is denied. Now we have that choke point that you spoke about. ByuN, he can hold his ground.
Yeah, he's losing SCVs across the map, but I don't think he really minds so much. RB supply of SKillous is plummeting, and ByuN, he is camping the production. He is camping everything right now.
Yeah, the boys are being pulled. SKillous, he has to defend here and now. He can afford to lose some workers, though. And ByuN, he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of bio army. He's down to 4 Marauders, down to 3 Widowmines, 4 Widowmines. He's barely trickling on forward. ByuN, he will lose everything across the map.
Yeah, these medevacs for ByuN are out of energy. He is ahead in the army supply, but keep in mind, a lot of it is dead supply because of all these medevacs that don't have any energy. Production is starting to fall for SKillous. A little bit of friendly fire, though, on these bio units, but I think ByuN just barely has enough.
I mean, look at SKillous' bank. SKillous, he has a bank, but he has no production. He has no gateways. As you mentioned, he cannot warp in. He's throwing down more gateways as we speak. He now notices Void Ray is on the way. He has 1 gateway powered. SKillous, he cannot reinforce. If he could, he would defend. Yeah,
there's really not a lot of anti here for ByuN. He's got Marines, but it's mostly a Marauder army, so the Void Ray, definitely a good call here. ByuN not quite going for the throat yet. He doesn't know what's in the main base, so he wants to basically make sure he doesn't throw.
Yeah, exactly. As ByuN is control of the natural, he does get eyes on the 3rd base mineral line. SKillous, he does have the base on the right-hand side, but no mining, no saturation. And ByuN, he may just win the game with this army. I say that extra gateways are just about to finish up. We will have more warp-ins, but ByuN is recovering back at home. He's mulling his heart out.
Yeah, I was gonna say ByuN may win with this army, but it's also pretty much his only path to victory right now. Shield Battery helping out a ton. Prismatic Alignment taking out some of these Marauders.
Yeah, Prismatic Alignment, the Void Ray does hold, does survive. Another Stalker gets targeted. Oh, it's a rough warp in there from SKillous. Again, a very close hold, very close defense. The Shield Battery's out of energy. The Void Ray does go down.
And it looks like ByuN has just about done it.
Yeah, he has done it. Another Void Ray pops out, though. He does get another Void Ray. We do have some extra warp in. Zealots here in the face of ByuN.
Yeah, and once again, these medevacs are out of energy. ByuN can't stim.
He can't stim, but he's still stimming. GG gets called. He barely has enough. SKillous, he taps out. He has a bank, but again, SKillous could not warp in, and ByuN ties up the series. We are going to the ace match.
I can't believe what I just witnessed here. Like, just how scrappy that got right towards the end. Such a low supply situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, GG, well played. Again, very scrappy, very intense. ByuN, he was forced into the all-in, and SKillous, he just needed more warp-ins. He just needed more time for extra warp-ins back at home. You could also argue that maybe he did pull the boys a little bit too late as well to defend his natural, and without any gateways, remember, he only had one gate. He only had one gate, he only warp in one unit at a time. He just could not make an army, could not hold. Barely.
Just barely. Again, if one thing went differently, I guess the Colossus was still going to be a little bit of a little bit far away, but even still, if those pylons didn't go down when they did, if there was just one more round of warp-ins, or even just half a round of warp-ins, the game would have kept going. That would have been game.
Yeah, true. That would have been game. That would have been game then and there. That was such a close back and forth. Again, SKillous, he almost claimed the win then and there by forcing the all-in. But as you mentioned, he barely didn't get it that warp in, or we saw the Artosis pylon go down that was powering the Robo, so no Colossus, right? That would have maybe been game as well. One Colossus was all he would have needed. So close, so clutch. GG, we are going all the way to the ace match. Game 5, it all ends here. It all ends on Persephone.
Or Persephone, depending. Regardless, we are going to be concluding our tournament here on Persephone LE. LE, of course, standing for Linguistic Eccentricities. Linguistic Eccentricities. That's when you can have Persephone or you can have Persephone. It's all linguistics and eccentrics. In the top left-hand corner of the map, starting all the way in the top left, we of course have our blue Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Shopify Rebellion, as well as, I guess, now all of the waifus. Question mark? We have ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the Team Liquid Protoss, being forced into the ace match. He was so close to claiming the win then and there last game. It was so close, it was so clutch. But now it all comes down to game 5. We'll see if he can bring back that momentum. It is SKillous.
What a map to end things on.
Yeah.
And we've had some big maps in the series. We had some rush maps. We had Pylon. We had Tokamak. Persephone, not exactly a standard map. It's got its eccentricities. It's got its healing pad. It's got its right side entirely of speed zones. But still one that lends itself pretty well to macro play.
It's a little bit more middle of the road here. We have seen a lot of aggression on Persephone. We've seen a lot of attempted and struggling to defend 4th, 5th, and 6th bases, but we'll see how our players approach this. We have seen SKillous now go Stargate opener 2 games in a row, but because of the as the probe is going to be shut down, but because of ByuN's safer style last game with the defensive Cyclone, I imagine SKillous maybe won't go Stargate this time.
Yeah, you know what we haven't seen from SKillous yet?
Storm. Yeah, true. No Storm. Do you want to see Storm?
I want to see Brute War Storms. Well, I want to hear them as well.
Yeah, true. Wenge Brood War campaign stream. Christmas holidays, maybe.
So I've told you about my commute.
Yeah, true.
You know what? Stream from the train.
Oh no. Is Boxing Day a public holiday in Singapore?
It isn't. No.
Ooh. So you just have
a half day.
So you have even day as holidays then?
Eve is a half day.
Oh my god.
Day is a holiday.
Okay. Fair enough. As here we go, do see ByuN breaking out across. That does knock the Adept out of position, does bust into the mineral, and he wants some probe kills.
And he will find a couple. 3 probes already going down, and pretty good damage here. 3 probes and an Adept, I should say.
Yeah, almost a 1-to-1 trade there, but overall ByuN does some nice damage. Likewise, we have our setup here. We have a 3-gate blink setup out of SKillous, going for a bit of a safer setup here into a more delayed expansion. No Stargate, no Oracle, not this time.
Not quite yet. Also, could we appreciate the pylon placement from SKillous over at the natural base?
Oh, right, the aesthetic.
Right on top of it, right on top.
Let's go. Do you think this was like this was intentional, as in this is where you should place the pylon, like a marker?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was done to make life easier for Gemini.
Yeah. Or to get him out of a job.
Oh.
I think Gemma's like, how dare you place a marker here? Okay, like, well, that's what I do. I make the guides. True.
Yeah. Not anymore.
As here we go, Gemini SKillous does break out, trying to break that bunker. Last losing a lot of stalkers in the process, though. Good.
Yeah, and the StarCraft didn't lose. Very, very low on health now. SKillous getting a little bit ahead of himself here. Earlier on, also kind of pushing in before Blink was done, had to pull out, and yeah, paying the price for it.
Yeah, so calm things down a little bit here. That was 1 stalker falling in that aggression. He did pick up 3 SCVs. Behind this, ByuN securing himself, and he's actually building up into extra tanks. Remember last game, he got tank production at 2. This time, going into a 3rd tank.
Yeah, which, once again, will be seen by SKillous. Well, this is going to be seen by SKillous, but ByuN, he is being a little bit more careful with his Raven, so...
Yeah, the Raven is going to be skirting around the left-hand side. We do see another observer here in position to scout as well. We do see SKillous going for a standard follow-up, so it's going to be 3-gate blink into a 3rd base, into charge +1, and Colossus production. Again, this is kind of the meta, the standard way to play out PvT, and SKillous is working his way there. Meanwhile, ByuN likewise breaking out, trying to catch their stalkers. Oh, gets 1.
Forces the rest to blink away. Sim now slowly but surely on the way. Are the medevacs out? There aren't any medevacs out. They're only now starting production.
Yeah, just now the first medevac is on the way. ByuN gets spotted as he attempts the push. SKillous slowing him down.
Yeah, forcing him to siege and unsiege. That's gotta be bad for the joints of the tank, if you think about it.
Here we go.
Constantly sieging and unsieging.
So now ByuN, he does skirt around the left-hand side. And so far,
usually Raven is a bit of usually Raven is a bit of a scouter.
Yeah, it doesn't
grabbing
like
that 3rd base and now pushing across the map.
And we see ByuN commit through the center. SKillous, he doesn't quite spot the move out, by the way. SKillous, he will now spot it in the center of the map.
Yeah, forward scouting probe will get eyes on this. ByuN thinks better safe than sorry. Will be sieging his tanks, but will also slow down his push. He retreats.
He doesn't like what he sees. I mean, he got spotted, so he respects SKillous quite a bit. He does retreat from here, pulls away with his main army. Behind this, throwing down his 3rd CC on location, taking up into Ghost production, getting ready for a longer game state.
Yeah. Well, I guess none of these players are going to be participating in the 2v2 tournament.
Up.
As the Nexus does get caught, forces a cancel, so nice little bit of a delay here from ByuN. It's always important in a TvP to make sure that you're on the same base count as your Protoss opponent.
Yeah, exactly here, as he does maintain that economic lead, does delay the 4th base, and will slow SKillous down quite heavily here. But again, no major aggression, just the drop play initially. ByuN, he pulls back home, he settles in, working towards ghost production. Meanwhile, SKillous trying to secure himself as well, building up his own Colossus and taking another base, double expanding after being forced to cancel.
Yeah, may as well. As we do see SKillous very, very careful. Doesn't want to throw anything away, so he's... Yeah, unlike game number 1, where he got a little bit ahead of himself and got a little bit more aggressive with his Colossus, he is slowly kind of leapfrogging them from base to base.
Oh, yeah. He's setting up. He's securing himself. Likewise, we do see ByuN secure as well. I mean, getting his ghost up and running. When it comes to this kind of slower kind of style that we're seeing here, it's going to be an interesting dynamic. Like ByuN is already rushing to a 2nd starport, going to Massive Viking. We already have SKillous going 2nd Robo into Disruptors as well. It's like no rush 10 minutes.
Literally, yeah.
Outside of the drop, of course, it did delay the 4th. But outside of that, yeah.
Yeah, both players not really wanting to push out until they finalize their tech path. ByuN working on getting ghosts, not quite getting Vikings yet, but I don't think he scouted the Robo, so...
Yeah.
Okay, Vikings on the way.
Yeah, Vikings... Yeah, they're on the way. He's got double starport, double reactor as well, pumping out Mass Viking. SKillous pokes in on the right-hand side. There is no CC, not yet. ByuN is still only on 3 bases, but now he's getting a 4th. It's on the way. Ooh, SKillous takes the gold.
Float it over. Soon as he can, SKillous. He knows he has the map control and he's taking full advantage of it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, SKillous.
Is there shrubbery in this?
Yeah. In the speed zone. Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of hard to see at times, but
it's all, everything's green. The ground is green, the shrubbery is green, the speed zone is green. It all blends into each other. For sure.
Well, it's camouflage, right? You put units in there to hide them, so
yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter that much.
As
if
both armies
or not.
Yeah, both armies are maxed out. SKillous does have a booming economy, I will say that at least. And it's going to be on SKillous to poke in to trade out Zealots. He's going to try to preserve his Colossus and his Disruptors as he does poke forward.
Yeah, SKillous definitely needs to be pretty careful with the positioning. Good anti-armor missile coming out here from ByuN, but unfortunately there's just not enough to capitalize on that.
And not quite enough.
The flank.
ByuN coming in for the flank. Who flanks who? Oh, the Raven. Raven goes down.
Raven does go down, but Vikings are landing some volleys on top of these Colossus. One of them go down.
He does get one. Massive Nova connects, takes down some of the ghosts. There's 1 Colossus remaining. Viking count not going to be high enough. I say that my mistake here. The Colossus does go down.
But what about the ground army here for ByuN? SKillous continuing to push forward. These Zealots pushing on forward like a massive tidal wave.
Yeah, again, the Novas were on point. The Colossus count was reset, but the Novas did connect with the Bio army. A lot of ghosts went down. ByuN, he will lose a lot of momentum. And you can see SKillous instantly remaxes.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a gold base and you're up 2 bases from your opponent.
Oh, yeah.
And have all this production.
Yeah, exactly. SKillous, he can afford these trades, and here we go. We have the mass swarm of Zealots filing in. He gets a full surround, takes down the Bio army, getting on top of the tanks. Zealots, they do get choked up a little bit here, but Novas, they will not connect, but here come the Zealots.
And that's really what's important. The Novas were able to soften up a couple of these tanks, and that really allowed the Zealots to have no issue whatsoever getting right on top of them. A little bit of a choke point here. That's tricky for SKillous to push into, but I don't think he minds so much. He is still denying this 3rd base location, killing the 4th, killing the 5th before they can even land.
Yeah, 21 SCV kills. SKillous expanding towards ByuN, taking his own bases as well. SKillous with full map control. He's like, mate, you want to just back off and relinquish map control? Okay, see what happens. I'll take every base. Yeah. I'll take every expansion.
Exactly. If you want to relinquish map control, then I'm going to control the map.
Yeah, exactly. And mate, he does control said map. Colossus, they do what Lin. Viking count was reset, so no more Vikings remaining. There are some Liberators at least, but alas, SKillous, he will overwhelm. He breaks the third base. ByuN down to his own 3 bases. His 4th base still up and running at least. And we do have some decent Liberation zones here, but SKillous still has a supply lead and has a wave of Zealots, a massive tidal wave, as you mentioned before.
Yeah, I feel like we're at the point where SKillous can afford to, just like that, blink right on top of these Liberators, take them out, and let the rest of the ground army deal the rest of the damage. GG is called, and SKillous will be taking the finals, will be our champion after taking that finals to 3-2. Nicely done.
GG, well played. Congratulations here to SKillous. Again, we had a very intense, very dynamic series coming into this back and forth. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, Game 4. Here in Game 5, we had something a little bit different though. Our players, there was a bit of a lull here where they both decided to calm things down and play it slow, play it safe. Both players, they backed off from each other. And as you mentioned, in that moment, in that period, SKillous took full advantage. Just mass expanding, taking the goal base, taking up as well, and having that superior economy.
Yeah, I think SKillous really showed a lot more adaptability in this series compared to ByuN. He kind of figured out ByuN's playstyle, or how ByuN was feeling today, and was able to exploit that as the series progressed and as we got into each new map.
Oh yeah, GG, well played. Again, as you mentioned, SKillous, he just had a little different styles, right? We saw some Stargate openers, we saw some Blink-based openers, we saw some more Oracle heavy play, some Phoenix heavy play, did mix things up quite a bit when it came to his overall style. ByuN also did mix it up, but he was still very much so aggressive, until the final game, of course, but for the most part, like, he was still hyper-aggressive when it came to early pushes, early concussive shell timing, stim timing, cyclone timings, tank pushes as well, very in the face of SKillous. In the end, GG, well played. SKillous will be this week's champion. Congratulations. And if you want to support this tournament, welcome one and all. This is a weekly tournament. This is the 91st edition, 91 Sparkling Tuna Cup. So many
Mother's
weeklies.
Day edition.
Yeah, Mother's Day edition. So many tournaments. And if you want to help support this tournament, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You can actually see the Patreon just under SKillous' name. You can see there on my right hand side. We currently earn 451 USD via Patreon. 100% of that money goes towards the tournaments, and you can help reach our next goal. That's at 500 USD via Patreon as well. Again, it all goes towards the prize pool, all goes towards the players, all goes towards the tournament prize pool in the end.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can help
Players
support.
Appreciate it.
Exactly, 100%. You can help support us if you wish. Otherwise, you can also help support us a different way. You can help support us via Matcherino as well. !Matcherino in the chat. The Matcherino page is designed to specifically fund this week's tournaments. We have a specific Matcherino page for every single tournament. We don't have any codes, unfortunately. Our tournaments aren't big enough for codes, but you can help boost the prize pool if you wish yourself via Matcherino. And again, on my right hand side, you can see the events that we host on a regular basis that are all funded via Patreon. We have Duckling Open, which we covered last night. We have Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is our weekly open tournament, and Masters 1 Open as well, which is our monthly Masters tournament. So again, you can see here that we bring together Koreans and Europeans. They face off on a regular basis. You can help support them if you wish via that Patreon.
Yeah. We're getting closer and closer to our eventual goals. I don't quite remember what the the goal for 500 was, but we're getting there.
It's just boost the prize pool. Boost the prize pool even further for the Sparkling Tuna Cup, so you can help us achieve that goal if you wish. And again, congratulations to SKillous for becoming our champion. It was an intense matchup, intense tournament, I should say. SKillous, he took down Nickrak, took down Percival. Actually, fun fact, for a lot of these matches, SKillous, he actually went all the way to the ace match. You can see here, he went to the ace match against Nickrak, against Percival, and against ByuN.
Yeah. Fighter, scrapper, if you will.
Yeah, very, very scrappy.
Very close series that we've had here tonight, and I, for one, am glad that I was available to cast them live.
Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Yaku. Big shout out to Yaku, of course, for for joining me once again for the first time in a very long time here in Sparkling Tuna Cup. I know that you've been very busy outside of just StarCraft, so thank you, Yako, for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna be busy again once the week begins.
No.
Thankfully, tomorrow's a holiday, so.
If we can ever get Yako on for some more Tuna Cups, we'll be bringing him on. Again, big reason for today's appearance of Yako is tomorrow is a public holiday. But if we can ever have you on again, we'd be more than happy to, Yako. More than happy to.
Yeah.
And with that, GG well played. Otherwise, if you guys want to tune into more of the Cranky Ducklings, you can do so via our socials. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. We stream on Twitch, we stream on YouTube, we stream on TikTok and Facebook as well. All things Cranky Ducklings, so you can follow us. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. And stick around because we're going to be giving a raid to Euthermal. Euthermal, he's streaming at the moment. Euthermal, he is hosting the 2v2 tournament, the 2v2 circuit, and I'm gonna head on over and help admin. Like, so I do.
I thought we could close the client. No, we're just switching servers.
Yeah. We're gonna be wrapping things up here real fast and real quick. But again, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Hope you all had a great time here. Again, our next broadcast is going to be in a couple of hours. You can actually see our schedule very quickly. Bam, I got you covered. We have our weekly schedule. We're going to be live once again in 5 hours time. Should be after the Thermal 2v2 tournament with the Brazilian StarCraft 2 circuit. The final day of the, I believe, online portion of the 2v2 tournament, sorry, of the Brazilian circuit. So we got you covered in 5 hours time with some more casting, some more StarCraft.
We're packing it in, packing it close. But yeah, we'll see you then.
Yeah, we'll see you then. We'll see you then for some Brazilian StarCraft 2 action. Otherwise, do check out and do give a shout out to Euthermal. Again, Euthermal, he's competing, he's playing, so do wish him the best when it comes to that tournament. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week or tomorrow or in 5 hours for some more StarCraft.
We'll see you when we see you.
We'll see you when we see you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Ciao. Bye, ciao. See you next time.
Mela.